Morning, everybody. So, today I'm going to be talking about riding in the dark and tips for you to do so. And the biggest tip is don't. Look, if you don't have to ride in the dark, then don't, because there's added risk that goes with it. But the biggest tip that I can give you if you have to ride in the rain is have a good light. So, the lights on the Apollo Ghost, they're not the best. They don't put out a ton of light. So I had a cheap little Amazon light that I put on there, and it really didn't do much for me. But I upgraded to this headlight, and this thing is remarkable. I can see other people. Usually for bike lights, it's all about making yourself more visible, but this one I can actually see, which is awesome. So getting a good bike light is going to be crucial for being able to ride in the dark. The other thing is making yourself more visible. So the jacket that I'm wearing, it has reflective parts all over it so that when I do come across a car, they can see me, which is really important. I also have a lime green rain fly on my backpack, which helps with visibility. And I have the lights on the Apollo Ghost. I will say that as far as being visible goes, the lighting on the Apollo electric scooters works great because you can be seen from the front, the sides, and the rear. And you want to make sure that people see you so you don't get hurt. That is going to be super important. The other thing is you want to know your route. So if you ride in the dark, you need to be doing so after you've already ridden that route in the daylight, because there's certain things you gotta look out for. Sewer grates, tar strips, potholes, bumps, and places where gravel accumulates, because these things you're gonna have to really go off of memory when you ride in order to not slide out. If you notice, it's also raining. And that's because here in my part of the Pacific Northwest, when it's wintertime, we don't really get a whole lot of snow, but we do get a lot of rain. And I know there's lots of people that are going to tell you never ride in the rain. And you know what? It's a good strategy to have. But I'm here to tell you that I ride 5 days a week, year round, and I ride in the rain all the time, and I don't have any issues. As long as you take care of your scooter, you will be okay, and your scooter will take care of you. So the other thing, because it is raining and it's wet, I'm looking for reflections of the water on the road, because that tells me where to not be, because riding in those really wet areas, not only is it going to slow you down, but on top of slowing you down, it's also going to splash up more water on you and your scooter, and it's going to make it more likely for you to slip out. So you want to be finding the dry path, or I guess it's raining, so there's not really a dry path, but the driest path wherever you go, because that's going to keep you upright and on your scooter. Really, there's not a whole lot to it. It's a pretty simple concept, but we want to make sure that we are being as safe as possible and making sure that we slow down a little bit so that we can ride our scooters and have a good time. Even though it is dark and raining out right now, I still enjoy commuting to work. And that is something that I've been doing for years on my Apollo Ghost and still applies. I enjoy going to work in the morning. That being said, I don't really mind the rain, which is kind of good because of where I live. But this is something that you can do as well, as long as you're being cautious enough and using some common sense. So keep those things in mind, and you can ride, and you can do it safe. Alright, y'all have fun, be safe, make good choices. Have a great day. What is going on, everybody? Hey, if you hadn't noticed, it's pretty dark. It's hard to see me, and it's raining out, which are not ideal conditions for riding a scooter. The only thing that would be worse is if it's rain or if it was windy. But I'm here to tell you that you can ride in the rain, you can ride in the dark, and you can do it safely. There's just a few extra steps that you have to take. So the biggest thing is you want to make sure that you can see. And unfortunately, the lighting on the Apollo Ghost is not the best for that. But there are lights that you can get. And some of the newer scooters, they do actually have much better lights on them. It's just these ones are pretty low and they're pretty low voltage. So fortunately, they aren't great for you being able to see, but they do work well for other people being able to see you. The other thing is having a good set of visible gear. So one thing that I upgraded to was I went from a rinky-dinky little Amazon light to another Amazon light that's not so rinky-dinky. This is an